section, we'll talk about constants. When an area of memory in the program is given a name, it becomes accessible by the program, really by the programmer, through that name. And it's usually a variable. We've seen that before in an example and various other sections we've discussed. Variables have the characteristic of being mutable, that is, changeable. As I said in the last section, they can vary through the program by having different values assigned to them. Thus, they are variable. However, some named areas of memory do not change their value once they're given that initial value. They're initialized but never change. These are called constants. It is a syntax error to try to assign a subsequent value to that constant. The point of a constant is that it is given a value and it remains that way. The constant is defined much the way a variable is. One small difference. It has a type, a name, and an initial value. What is different is that the final keyword designates that named area of memory actually as a constant. Some authors call these variables final variables. I don't like the term that they're called variables because if they cannot change their value, that is, they're immutable, then they're not really a variable at all. So I think named area of memory that is unchangeable or immutable or constant is better than a final variable. But understand that a lot of literature does say final variable. Constants are a way of giving a meaningful name to a value. For example, the area of a circle is supposed to be pi r squared. We learned that from algebra. We don't call it 3.14159 r squared. We give the constant pi a value. It's a set value. It doesn't change. Diameter of a circle to the circumference of the circle is constant. That's why pi r squared is much more meaningful. We define a constant in one piece of code. It can be used later in that code, or actually the situations used in totally different programs or different parts of the program. The point being that the constant is not going to change its value and its name is meaningful so that just mentioning it communicates to the programmer and others who read the code what that value really represents.